Okay, here we are at my house. We're in Caraga, which is the northern part of Mindanao. We're in an area called Agusan del Norte, and the closest town, which is a couple of meters, about a half a kilometer, maybe a kilometer away, is Santiago. This particular area right here is called Mindanao. I'm Lance. I'm Bud's brother. We're so close in age, about a year, a little more, so that growing up everybody thought we were twins. Actually, they called us both double names. They would say Lance Bud, Bud Lance. Come here, Lance Bud. They couldn't decide who we were. But nonetheless, Bud has asked me to give a little farm update, and I thought what I would do is start with the facilities, the infrastructure on a farm here. This is what I did. I made, your typical mistakes, and so I understand that there's people interested and maybe want to consider a farm themselves here in the Philippines. The farm, first of all, you can never compete with the Filipino. Their brother-in-law owns this hardware store, this, that. They can always, no matter what you do, they can do it cheaper and usually better. But there's a fun factor in having your own eggs, having your own camote, having your own goats, and raising your own fruit. So that changes things a lot actually. So on this particular farm we have about 3.5-4 hectares, 2.5 acres per hectare. So Bud asked me to talk about costs, and so let's just talk about the area first of all. The area to get a farm, if you have a lot of coconut trees, you got to consider cutting down the coconut trees, which requires a permit and all of that, and getting up the stumps, plowing, leveling, clear off the brush, which is a lot of work and a lot of money. And fortunately, this farm that we have, about a half of it was farmed by my wife Chanita's grandparents. So a lot of it's cleared already. It's bottomland. There's a river that runs by, and when in those occasions, once every 20 years or so, when it does flood, it brings soil up and refurbishes what we've used, kind of like the delta area as far as farming. So what's it cost? Well, we bought a half a hectare right across the street here, and it had all banana trees. I would say between 400 and 600 banana trees. And so thinking that I had half a hectare, a little over an acre and a quarter, of a money-making deal. I mean, I already had bananas already on it. So it seemed like a good deal. And to be honest with you, I can't really remember how much we paid for it. I think we paid around 400,000 pesos. And 1,000 pesos is $20. So once we bought the property and walking around all the banana trees and lots of bananas, I decided I cut down one of the banana stalk. When to harvest banana, they only get one harvest per plant. So you might as well cut that plant down when it falls to get the bananas, because you got to grow another one before you get more bananas. Anyway, I got the bananas. I took them, I cut one of them in half, and it was black on the inside. So, what the hell, this ain't right. So I started cutting them down for various areas in the property, And they were all like that. Well, I come to find out, help with the Department of Agriculture, which they call the DA here, and some local farmers, I found out that what I had a fungus in the banana field. And so, okay, what do I do? What do I spray it with? How do I get rid of the fungus? No, get rid of the fungus. You got to cut all the banana trees down, dig up the stumps, the roots, and burn it all. Well, anyway, that's what me and my wife did. We hired a couple of people to help us, and it took us a good while to accomplish it. But while we were at it, we tended to level off the property best we could. And at that point, we decided to plant fruit trees in there. And later on, I'll walk down there and we'll do some photographs and some videos of it. So anyway, that left us with this. And before you start, you got to put your infrastructure in. You got to make sure you got water, you got electricity, you got a road, you have a way of getting into your property. Over here, the law says that if you happen to have landlocked property, which a lot of property is landlocked, that the people between you and the road are required to give you access. And what that means is 1.5 meters, if you're going down a property line, 1.5 meters from one guy and 1.5 meters from the other, making 3 meters, which is one lane road is 3 meters wide. So we happen to have done that for a neighbor, and but we did it. The other neighbor said, "Piss off, he's not doing it," which is what most people will do. So I would recommend that you get property that was on a road. So some of the first things we had to do was build a bridge, because there's an irrigation ditch right in front, and not just lay boards across it. We had to build a bridge. I wanted a bridge that would take a dump truck through. So we're talking a 10-ton bridge. So not cheap. So anyway, we built the 10-ton bridge. That was the very first thing we did here. And then we started clearing the area. Well, checking the power source here was not good, and not good power is the norm in a province. And how do you fix not good power? You put a transformer in. And so a transformer comes in various different sizes, and you really need to buy your own transformer and pay to have it put up. If you expect the electric company to do that, good luck. If you don't have good power, the voltage goes down and the amps go up. And the amps is what burns out your air conditioner, your refrigerator, basically anything that's run on electricity. So I have friends who chose not to put a transformer in, and they burn up several air conditioners, refrigerators, that within a year. So anyway, let's take a photograph of the bridge and the transformer, so we know kind of what we're talking about here. Okay. Okay, here's the transformer. As you can see, it's a, we call it 25 kV, but over here they call it kW, kW. So that 25 kW will give you 100 amps, and they're usually a 2-to-1 safety margin, but 100 amps will I had an electrical engineer check out and everything I had here and give me a what am I going to need list. And so I told him 5 air conditioners, 100 light bulbs, washers, machines, clothes washing machines, and other electrical appliances. I don't have 5 air cons now, but I'm going to be building guest houses, and I'll have air conditioning and hot water showers. So, one of the side benefits of having if you put your own transformer in, is you become a commercial outfit then, so you get charged the commercial rate. Let me walk over here and show you the different kind of meter right here. If I can adjust this. This particular meter is a commercial meter. Now, what that means is that regular residential electrical power costs 9 pesos a kilowatt hour. But commercial power, wait a minute. If you buy commercially, it's 6 pesos a kilowatt hour. So, you know, what the hell, you're saving a third. If nothing else, it'll pay for itself and you'll have good, steady power. Just to give you an idea, amperage on 220, a pump like I use on my pressure system, it's like a well pump, 3/4 horsepower, we use about 8 amps while it's running. Okay.